we need to figure out how to get the Hasura thing going. So coming back to Docker Compose, we want Hasura, we need to now point it at this. So let's see. Inside of Docker Hub, we're going to search for Hasura. There is no, it doesn't look like there's an official image for this, but off of Hasura's website, or I guess their GitHub, you can, they have a link to this specific one. So this is their GraphQL engine. It's got a lot of pools. It's used a lot. So we're going to use you. So this is going to be now our, we'll call this GraphQL, or maybe we'll just call this Hasura. Image is Hasura. We'll just do latest. I did not tell you to also bring in that. Sure, restart always, let's just say. I don't think I need any volumes. See what you want. Okay, so we need to expose some ports. Do you have something for Docker? Oh, Docker Compose right here. Okay, so we need to expose the ports. So we're going to expose port 8080 is what it's relying on. So what was that? It's just ports. No, I've always been confused. I've always thought that like, okay, I have this colon here. This goes inside of ports. Shouldn't that be a tab in? But then it's never seems to be tabbed in. So like, it always like I get confused by YAML sometimes. Oh, depends on. That's gonna be true. Now, Postgres takes a little bit of time to start up. So I don't like it takes a little bit longer to start up than it actually takes to start up, if you know what I mean. So we're gonna need a depends on, but we can't keep it on database. We're gonna have to choose something else. What it takes in startup, it compensates in efficiency and speed of transactions. Yep. Restart always. Okay, and then we have this environment stuff. Okay, so our database URL, so we have to tell it where the database URL is. So this is going to be like the URL thing. So it's Postgres username, Postgres, colon password, which is this keyboard cat. Now, Docker Compose does allow you to use variable names. So like in a real setting, you would probably use this as like variable names to throw in here. Then we're going to go to database, colon 5432 slash Postgres, because I think that's the name of the default database. We need to enable the console so we can log into it, so it's not just like a remote thing. So true. And let's give you a password too. So let's do super password, because that is very secure. It's super. Come on. Of course it is. Okay, so if I run this, we're going to run into a problem because so the way it works is database is going to run first. and then it's going to come up, but then the database doesn't exist yet. So Hasura will start booting, but Postgres is still running the init script. So we need to do something called a wait for it, which wait for it. Yeah, not there. Okay, hold on. Is it wait for it? Wait for it? Wait for it. Docker. Oh, I think it's this one. Wait dash for it. That's it. Okay, so this one has like 5 million. We'll do the one that has 5 million downloads. So it's going to wait for the port to open. Let's see. Does it? So it actually doesn't have any good documentation. Maybe the other one would be better. How about this one? Oh, there we go. Okay, actual documentation. Your current bot is processing around 5,000 inserts per second, and database is bored as hell asking for more. Yeah, Postgres, like modern databases are beasts. Like they're like usually it's network latency, or if you don't give it like a good enough computer to run on. But like databases are fast. And they do so many like crazy things behind the scenes to make themselves that fast too. Okay, so we have this Hasura, we have this database. I'm going to add in one more here. What? Stop. Whatever you are. How did I turn that on? And how do I turn off? Okay. Oh, I don't even see a status for that. So, okay. All right. So usage. We're gonna do a wait for it. This is gonna be image that. Let's go to the latest. Don't need it to restart always. I just want this to run once and that's it. Okay, then here, what we're gonna do, so I think we can do some other things, right? Let's see. Required command. Oh, execute command with args after the test finishes. Oh, I don't care about that. Poster IP under test. Do I dash T0? Oh, if that's using this as like an actual thing. I want this for Docker Compose. Maybe wait for it. Maybe that one isn't good either. We can try this one. No. What's one that has like a Docker Compose? like I feel the other one is actually going to work out well because I can just point it at host. I don't need the timeout. Okay, so then this is the command we pass into that. Okay, and then that gets passed afterwards. So what is this? Is this like CMD, I think? CMD. Ugh. Okay, so we want the command like that. Okay, so it's just command. And that's the command we're going to be relying on. So wait for it here. This is what the command we'd pass it in is. So wait for database port 5432. Okay. I think that will be it, and then depends on wait for it. So if we run this now, okay, so you're done here. Oh, well, okay. Cut you out. You become database. I forgot to take it down before I did this. Okay, so you go. Oh, okay, so we're there. All right, so now we're gonna put you back. So wait for it sits here. You're gonna depend on wait for it. Let's try this again. Okay, so I saw a bunch of the inserts happening. I think things are running now. If we take a look in here, our application is running. So I want to now, it's forwarding a port to my local 8080. So let's go in and take a look at this. So we're going to go to localhost 8080. Here is Hasura running. Admin secret. What did we give it again? We gave it, oh right, super password, the best password, because it has super in it. So I throw that in there. And here we go. Here is Hasura. Okay, so I don't, can I make, yeah, hide for now. Okay, so there's a bunch of cool stuff that's in here. Also, no, don't save that. All right, so in Hasura, we have our API. This is like the actual post that we get there, and it gives us like the password and the content type to like hit it externally. If I go to data here, we'll see that it's aware of these, but like in API, there's absolutely nothing here right now. So in data, I'm gonna track all the tables. And then once I do that, it sees these relationships. And so now I can track all of those. And if I come back to here, now I have the ability to like actually do GraphQL queries against a Postgres database with the what is it called? With the relationships sort of like just all set up for us. So let's go ahead and just like try that out. So in case any of you have not seen GraphQL before, it's pretty nifty. So we're going to create a new query here, and I want to do the exact same query that we did before. So we're going to start with, let's say I want to get all the players. Give me their name and ID, but also give me their scores. So give me the score ID, give me the score here for that. And then also tell me what the level name is that they got for that. So if I run this, here we can say Dota 2 Attitude has a score of 450 for Sudoku 1. KO2 fan and Coding Garden fan have not completed that level. So that's what we can do here is I just can grab whatever I want from it and that's it, which is really cool. Okay, so nice things is like apparently I can do where clauses on this too. We can do order bys on here, which is like AppSync does not allow any of that kind of stuff, which is kind of a pain to work with, but this all allows it, which is nice. Okay, so now there's mutations too, but let's go through like what we have in here first. In data, there is a very, very basic graphical interface. So I can actually see the data inside of here. We can insert rows. We can do all the things that we want to do. It's not a great graphical interface for like a database. Like I would still just use PSQL if you want to do things fast, or use like a GUI one like Postico or something, as opposed to this. But in case you want to actually just really quickly see what's there, this gets the job done. You know what? Let's actually pull in the level 2. Let's verify that that's what we think that it is. And it's not stringified, as we can see here. It's an actual real object, a real JSON object, which is nice. Let's see. I also noticed there's REST. So does that mean that there's actual REST endpoints? Yeah, REST endpoints allow for the creation of a REST interface to your saved GraphQL. To saved GraphQL queries and mutations. So if you want to basically have a REST endpoint as opposed to GraphQL, you can sort of like combine the two. Looks like I don't have any set up by default. Oh, I have a history of them. Those are nice to see. I can barely copy this to paste into like some other code. Explorer just shows me this. Code exporter now gives me all the code that you need to run it. I often use what is it called? Apollo for running this type of stuff. So I don't think I would need a code exporter, but like just to run it plain, it could be pretty nice. Voyager. Well, this is a thing. So Voyager shows us. Oh, it does not like dark mode whatsoever. Hold on, everybody. I'm gonna turn off dark mode temporarily. Wait, can I? No, that doesn't help whatsoever. I'm going to turn off doc mode very temporarily so we can actually read what these are. Sure, Jacques, hello. So Hasura seems to be a open source GraphQL API that you can connect to a Postgres database, and then it basically just does everything for you at that point in time. At least that's what it seems like so far. So for example, in this API, we created a Postgres database, and now I can just, for almost free, grab this information out of here and do GraphQL queries, which is pretty nice actually. Okay, so for this Voyager, I want to see like what this is. It's like query root. Are these actual tables that it's created behind the scenes? There's lots of stuff that it's done to sort of like be aware of where everything is. So here's our levels. Like these stuff we haven't created, but it's created tables to sort of like keep track of everything, which is in a way nice, but can I skip all the Hasura created stuff? Okay, so here's like levels. So like levels is associated with scores and also associated with players. You see, you're wondering if there's n+1 issues. What do you mean by that? Scores aggregate. I don't know what the aggregate fields means in this case, but you can go like, I guess, get all sorts of interesting stuff. Doesn't seem to do anything. Lots of leaves. I wish I could just show mine. Would be pretty cool. All right, so we'll go back to dark mode now. I don't know how useful this view is. At least it's not useful for me yet until I learn more about it. Okay, so here's REST. Okay, so I can create a REST endpoint. So let's see about that. Let's do get all levels, let's say. Description, get all the levels. Okay, so the location of endpoint must be unique. Okay, so we can just do something like levels. So it looks like it's going to go into API REST levels. It's going to be a get method. And then, oh, okay. So I can create, a query for this. Oh, okay. So hold on. This is, if I create that endpoint, at this point now, we can see if you hit this route, then it runs this query behind the scenes and returns it to you. So if you want to have REST on the front end, but GraphQL in sort of like this middle layer or back end, this can do that for you, which is pretty cool. N+1 means it queries database unnecessarily. Like instead of loading 10 comments in one query for one blog post, it loads one comment using one query for, so 10 comments is 10 queries, which is a debacle. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. Like, I don't know Hasura too well. I do know that AppSync tends to, I think it depends, but it tends to like do more queries. This is pretty fast so far from what I've looked at it though. Now we don't have enough in here to like really do like stress testing on it. I bet there are, but there's docs on this. Where would we find that out? Let's see. Will you actually tell us how it works? So it does schema generation. Okay, so it so the Hasura GraphQL engine does not have any resolvers. It is a compiler that compiles your GraphQL query into an efficient SQL query. So whether or not they do a single query for that, or if they end up doing multiple queries, it certainly sounds like they're in a position where they could do like just one query. I don't know. I don't think this will help. That might be something else to look at. But it sounds like if it's not something they're actually doing right now, then it's something they probably should be doing or could be doing. Let's see. So we can do these, like we can create REST queries. So that's kind of cool. Can I actually do a REST query here? No. I can hit it. So run the request, and this is what you get back. Okay, makes sense. We have our data. I can connect another database, but I did notice that it doesn't like to have the same, like I can't connect the same database again. If I create another one, it's gonna yell at me that it has like the same names of the tables and the same field names, which is not cool for Hasura. So really, this is meant to be like one Hasura per one project, as opposed to like one Hasura for like a dev project, one Hasura for like a test, one for production, that kind of thing. Which makes sense. Like it's in Docker, so you might as well be able to do that. Also, I can apparently create new tables. Just here with whatever I want here. Oh, apparently I can do functions too. That's nice. Okay, actions. What are actions? Actions sit between GraphQL. So sit between Hasura and Postgres. They're custom queries or mutations that are resolved via HTTP handlers. Actions can be used to carry out complex data validation. Wait, is this like Lambda functions? Let's create one. So you have to have like types. Okay, so this is going to be what it is. It's like this is a mutation. Oh, okay. So this is not like just JavaScript code I can run. Okay, so if I want to do like a create a new thing, then it has to pull in the data. So I would need to learn how this stuff works. You can define new GraphQL types that you can use in the action above. So sample input is this, which is username and password. And then it provides a sample output, which is an access token. You have to give it a handler. It could be synchronous or asynchronous. Webhook. Huh, interesting. We'll have to come back to this. I may need to take some time to like sort of learn. Look at some examples. Remote schemas apparently allow us to pull in another Postgres database. Oh no, another like a Hasura instance. That could be cool. I don't have one right now to bring in. And then events. Okay, so event triggers. So when something happens to the database, it triggers an event and then we do something. So for our default database, when we add a new player, okay, so when we insert a player, then hit this webhook. Is that all? So I don't really have anything to do with it. It doesn't seem, huh. I wonder if I can, I wonder if that means like you can set up pretty easily some like Slack integrations, like, oh, somebody created this or somebody did this. Like let's go and like for logging also that purposes. Basically a very sort of cloud-based architecture where things are not connected together. So like those are pretty cool. Obviously, I don't have anything actions or events to do with this. I want to take a look at more like actual creating these things. So if I want to create, like creating a player and creating a level is easy enough. Let's go to mutation. Don't need you anymore. If I'm doing a mutation where I'm like creating a player, let's see. We will do insert players. So we have to give it, oh, I don't have to give it an ID. I have to give it a name. Oh, I didn't set anything as not null, so everything can be null, which is, or like the names should probably be unique too, but here, the most recent chatter, SureShock. We'll give you SureShock 55. Okay, so I give that. Oh, on conflict. Oh, okay, so it allows me to do all of those fun SQL stuff that LumaCode was sharing with us. So we can do like on conflict update columns. Okay. I don't want to actually do that. Returning, sure, the ID and the new name, but I can also return all the things that it's related to. So if we do that, it didn't really necessarily call, but I noted that Hasura here allows me to, when I'm doing an insert, I noticed that it has the on conflict stuff in it, which is pretty cool. Like I think that it's nice that it can support that. So I've inserted SureShock. Now we got an ID 4 out of this. So let's do another mutation, and we're going to insert a new level. So level and name. So this is going to be interesting. We know we're going to sort of follow this pattern of like I don't know, we'll go backwards this time. So like 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. Okay. And the name, we'll call this backwards. And give me returning ID, level, and name. Create level. Okay, so here we are. We created that, and we get it back. Okay, so now the most difficult thing. I want to insert into scores, but okay, so scores is a many to many. So insert scores. I want to, okay, so level ID. So we just got level ID 2. Player ID and the score. And that's pretty much it here. Give us back the ID, the level ID, player ID, and the score. Heck, I can even just say, give me the level, just all that information and the player, just make sure that we got the right player. Now with you, create level. So level ID is not that. If we come, oh, cool, you saved it. Okay. Levels, we see we have 2 of them. So we're doing for level 2. Player ID. So players, we'll do player ID 4. Score, we'll say that you got a 750, whatever that means. Okay, and if we go back to data, we should now see that you've got, this has now been added in there, which seems fine. And the relationships are all working properly. Okay, great. Now, can I do it all at once? Oh, I didn't want create insert levels. Oh no, I lost or insert scores, I think. There. Okay, so you stay there. Let's do another mutation here. I want to all at once. So what I want to do is I want to insert a new player, a new score, sorry, a new player, and a score for them all at the same time, maybe for an existing level. So can I do that? So I want to do an insert players. Here's their name. I'm not going to give them an ID. So let's here, Lumicode. Okay, so you're playing with that. Scores. Your score is gonna be, let's say like 566. And then I want to say that this is for level ID 2. So we're creating a new score for an existing level, and we're also creating a new player too. So I'm really curious if it's gonna like actually do this correctly. So let's returning literally everything. So we have our returning scores. We'll get our level. We'll get the level name. And for the player, let's make sure we get the player ID name there. Let's run this. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we got Luma code, which is now ID 5 into scores. So it's a third row in scores. Level ID was 2, which we just wrote in there. Player ID is 5. Okay, so it actually did create this. So if we come back to data here in scores, it successfully added in player ID. Nice. What if I wanted to do like a new everything? So let's do a new all at once. I want to add in maybe not insert players. Maybe it starts by inserting scores. And then I can say okay, we're going to give you a level and a name and a player, so new name, and then a score. And I wonder if you're going to figure that out, or if this is like not the way to do it. So, okay, so level. We'll just do we'll do a very, very small, simple level. This is clearly a tutorial level. Okay, name for the level is tutorial. Okay, so the player name, let's find another chatter. Selective duplicate. Okay. Your score is, let's say, like you got a really fast score. So it's like 50 seconds it took you to finish this. And then we're going to returning everything. Okay, so I got insert scores. We're returning, so a fourth row in scores. Okay, a third level that got put in. We got the name. Okay, so I think that works out really well. And if we go into our data, I think everything should make sense now. Now that's a problem. Look at this. I did not want this to be a string. I want it to be actual JSON, similar to what we have here. I did not notice. Okay, so that's not the right way to put in the JSON. I wonder if I need to actually make it real JSON as opposed to like stringify like we have to in SQL. In players, we have all of our data here, and then in scores, it successfully added those in. So even though we have a many-to-many join, I can like just straight in add in and create everything for all the tables all in one statement, which is really nice. I don't have to like run something, get the ID, and then create something else, then get the ID, and then create the third thing. This is actually really nice looking. And of course, we can do things like a REST so that you can just like pass in stuff, and you don't have to do like the actual full GraphQL query in the front end if you don't want to. So I'm liking this. I'm happy with it. Let's see, is there anything else? I've not played with subscriptions at all. I have no idea what this does. My subscription, so let's say I want to look at players. Just give me their subscriptions are amazing. Yeah, so I've never used them before. I've always just sort of like seen them. I was like, huh, I wonder what that's about. So here, if we start from a player and I want to know your score, it's a whole pub sub system baked into Postgres. Okay. So here we have all the scores. Are you like, so I guess like, does this mean it's like constantly running? And then if I make a change to the database? Oh, look at that. It's sitting here continued to play. So let's, oh, I missed him. He walked right past the camera view. Hi. Let's open up. See, not you. Let's come into data here. I guess it wouldn't be data. Don't save. Will be an API. Let's open this up in another window. Okay, so here's all this information. So let's say I want to do a mutation. I want to do an update score. So let's say for some reason Luma code, your score is wrong and we need to update that. So this is, oh, I don't have the right ID. Okay, we can go find that. Scores. The score is 556, so that's ID 3. Okay, so we're gonna do, oh wait, you know what? I think I can do this better. Let's say we don't know what the ID is. So in here in update scores, I want to update scores, specifically the score, right? But I need to be, wait, this is a where. Sorry, I'll need to set the score where the player ID is 5. So equal to 5. And then returning, give me the new score. So if we do this, then the player ID is 5. The score is, let's say, instead of 566, you actually completed this in 500 seconds instead. So, you know, a faster time. And if I run you, oh man, it auto reruns this entire query. And we get this back here, and now it's updated. That is pretty nifty. Also, the where clause in here is really nice too, because I don't know what that ID is. I could also like search for the name in here as well. That's pretty cool. And then I saw that I think Apollo has the ability to like subscriptions also in like the for front end code. Like if you're in like React or Vue and you want to do something like that and just like keep updates whenever something else updates it for you. That's pretty nice. So I'm liking this so far. I'm pretty happy with it. So I don't know what more we'd want to look into this. I don't have enough to like create a full like tutorial on this yet, because I think it would be maybe part of a bigger tutorial, like maybe making a making a project. I have some ideas for projects we might do in the future. And then I kind of like this idea of like this Hasura GraphQL on top of Postgres. And then I've seen that there are some Rust libraries for GraphQL. And then even if they're not, it's like still trivial to just like send the GraphQL and like not use your own, just do GraphQL endpoints yourself. It's not that hard. But that being said, I'm liking this so far. However, I'm starting to like feel it in my throat a little bit. So I think I'm gonna have to end it a little bit early today. I know I normally go for a couple more hours, but I need to like keep my throat working properly. So today we're just going through Hasura and taking a look at that, which I'm super happy with so far from what I can see. And in the future, we may play around with it a little bit more. So thank you everybody for hanging out with me today. And LimuCode, thank you for the SQL help. That was super, super awesome. Let me get you the URL of all of this stuff. I'll go ahead and push all of this code up right after stream. That's going to go into here. But if you want to go take a look at this, and then if you're watching the VOD, I'll have a link to this code in the description. All you need to do to get it running is to clone this and then run docker compose up. And then everything should just be working locally, and you should be able to go to localhost 8080 to sort of like play around with Hasura yourself. All right, that's it. So thank you everybody once again for stopping by, and I'll see you next time, whenever that is. Bye.